welcome everybody to this beautiful, beautiful 1111 portal activation. Everyone that's watching around the world, I just want to share a little bit of a story. In 1989, I did a little concert in Berlin for about 50 people, and it was kind of a little exhausting having all that equipment around. And anyway, so after the concert, someone gave me some roses and an orchid. And we went to an East Indian restaurant. It was like 11:30 because everything else was closed. And on the way back, we were driving and I saw these bright lights and I asked the driver, what is that place? And he said, that's the Brandenburg Gate. So I said, can we turn the car around and stop there? And we took the roses and the orchids and we placed them on that wall, the Brandenburg Wall. And I said a prayer that this is a moment in history the planet will not forget. And I said it twice, and I had 3 people witnessing that. This is a moment in history the planet will not forget. And they said, aren't you afraid to climb up there and put the flowers? Because there's guns, there's guards with the machine guns there and everything. But I said, we're not going to go over the wall. We're just going to place the flowers on the wall. So we said a little prayer, because when I did the concert, I prayed for healing, that all the walls between the East and West dissolve. And we just sent so much love to all the people in East Berlin. So 2 days later, we fly back. I'm exhausted. I have jet lag, 3 o'clock in the morning. I could not sleep. I woke up, put the radio on, and the news announcement said, the Berlin Wall is down. I literally was in tears. I called my friend Simone in Berlin. I said, Simone, is that true? And she said, that's absolutely true. And where they first brought the wall down was where we placed the flowers, right in that Brandenburg location. So my point is, beautiful, beautiful souls, do not underestimate the power of the presence. And it's not how many people, it's the collective consciousness of what we can bring through together, especially on this powerful day today. We have Patty and Anrita, so many beautiful light workers holding the energy for the planet at this most important time in the planetary evolution and healing. So today, I just send my love and blessings out to all the world, and we can join together, everyone that's watching, join us in raising the frequency and bring healing to this planet as well as to ourselves and all our brothers and sisters. Thank you so much.
From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of all beings. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of all beings. May Christ, the Holy Spirit, the radiant, loving I Am God presence, Lord Maitreya, Lord Buddha, Mother Mary, Shekinah, Lady Gaia, Lord Metatron, Lord Melchizedek, Kuan Yin, Avalokitesvara, all the ascended masters, saints, archangels, and the eternal ones, be lovingly received into every soul. From the center where the divine will of God is known, let purpose guide the wills of all beings, the divine purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of humanity, let the plan of love, forgiveness, and transmutation work out, and may it seal the door where darkness and ignorance dwell. Let light, love, wisdom, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, empathy, unconditional divine love, radiant health and healing, harmony, prosperity, peace, unity, sacred loving relationships, sovereignty, and ascension be restored to all beings on this earth and in the universe, now and forevermore. And we direct and send these blessings to the southern hemisphere of our planet. We direct it to the far north, to the far east, to the far west, and in every direction We amplify this intention through the crystal grid network, through all the ley lines and power points throughout the earth now, as we invoke the universal white Christ light in our heart centers, and gradually bring it down to the root center and further down into the very center of the earth, where the golden white Christ light merges with the mother of pearl radiance of Lady Gaia. Lord Metatron stepping in now, activating a luminous Merkabah golden white Christ light merged with the mother of pearl radiance of Lady Gaia. We anchor this into the very center of the earth as this luminous Merkabah cycles through all the 7 rays, cleansing the earth in the violet transmuting flame and fire, cleansing the center core and all the way around and through the earth now. Activating the cobalt blue ray of God's will and protection into the inner core of the earth. The golden green ray of healing. The rose ray of unconditional divine love. Anchoring the ruby gold ray of peace and resurrection. The golden ray of illumination and enlightenment. And the crystal white ray of cosmic Christ purity and ascension. Anchoring all the 7 rays into the center core of the earth, as this Merkabah is now accelerating its rotation until it turns into luminous, radiant, white Christ light, expanding and getting larger until it permeates the outer core of the entire earth, surrounding the entire planet in a luminous Merkabah of golden white Christ light and mother of pearl rainbow radiance. We place ourselves in this Merkabah of light, Lord Metatron activating the 8 points of the Merkabah and aligning them into our 8 chakras, activating the rainbow light body above our crown center. We now bring this light body from the top of our head, through our 3rd eye, through our throat center, our heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral center, and root chakra all the way down into the center of the earth, anchoring all of our chakras and light rays into the inner core of the earth as they are stabilized and integrated with the light and presence of Lady Gaia. Now visualize a spinning luminous Merkabah of radiant white light from the center of the earth, moving up through our root center and ascending through all our 8 chakras. The sacral center moving up into the solar plexus, the heart chakra, the throat center, the 3rd eye, the crown, and the rainbow light body above our crown center, and moving higher all the way up to the great central sun, merging with the intelligence and energy of the infinite universal consciousness of our loving I Am God presence, and anchoring it back into the very root center and inner core of the earth, where it is stabilized and anchored in resonance with Lady Gaia, as above, so below, creating a rainbow conduit of light from the center of the earth through all of our chakras and all the way up to the great central sun and back down into the very center core of the earth, anchoring an infinite loop of light, love, and inner peace between our higher self and our human existence.
My name is Addie, and I am the founder of the online community called the Green Tower. It is an incredible honor, really, to be here with you all around the world and with our incredible presenters. We have Patricia Cota Robles here today with us, Aeoliah, Anrita Melchizedek. And these are not presenters. To me, these are very, very dear friends that I have been working with personally since 2009. It is almost miraculous to me that in 2009, the Spirit, Divine Mother, and our guides brought us together to do this work. And of course, brought you here to do this work with us. We have a very big mission today, and it is our mission to create a planetary vibration of sacred love. This mission was assigned to us by Divine Mother herself, and I'm going to explain a little bit about how this came about. When I was about 4 years old, I was living in communist Czechoslovakia, didn't really have much information about much, but I was visited by a Hopi grandmother, and she told me I was her grandson and that she was my grandmother from the stars. She took me to a place with all these red rocks that now I know as Arizona, and she gave me my mission for this lifetime. And I believe this mission is not just my mission, but it is also our mission and your mission. She told me that in order to dissolve what we call density, we would have to purify the sacred heart within. And she took me on a mission when I was 4, where I walked through density, and my heart was purifying until it became the sacred portal. And I realized that we have this magical portal in our hearts. And I call it the sacred portal because once it opens, something really magnificent, mind-blowing happens. Rainbow light starts flowing in and out through the portal. Rainbow light starts flowing in full intensity, what I would call from source, but also from Mother Earth. And so the mission was clear in this lifetime: to purify the heart, to have an open heart, to pay attention to the heart. And today we are here to do that together. Now, in 2017, I had this amazing visitation by Divine Mother once again, but this time it was a little different. It was not my grandmother, it was the Divine Mother herself. And she appeared in the middle of the night in August 2017, after we did all these invocations with Patricia in observance of the solar eclipse, which was a very special planetary and celestial event. And that night, I woke up in the middle of the night and the bedroom was lit up. It was just light everywhere. And it was what I would call Adi Shakti herself. Now, Adi Shakti started to reveal information about creation, about ascension, about really every aspect of human life, but also celestial life, about creation. And there's definitely a lot to be shared, but not today. But she started to give me tasks, and not just me, but I made friends, and she asked me to make a lot of friends in this world, which the internet makes possible, and to fulfill these missions. And that's what we have been working on. And that is also why we are in Sedona today. And that is also why we are holding this 11/11 event. Now, as we have been doing all this work, assisting really our Mother Earth in her expansion and also in all the transformations that are going on, we were asked by Divine Mother to be here together with a large collective on 11/11 for many different reasons. But she said that what really is needed on planet Earth right now is this coherent field of the sacred love, a coherent field of vibration. And she said, please use music. Well, that's why we have Aeoliah here today. Use meditation. That's why we have Anrita and dear Patricia here today with us. And that's why you and me are here to also chant. And one of the sacred chants that Divine Mother has been guiding us to do is the simple that we know from the yogic tradition. Om is so much more than a sound that the yogis use. So I love going and fulfilling all these different missions for Divine Mother. And so we went to Mount Shasta a while ago. It was in 2020. And there are a lot of mysteries, right, that happen in these different portals that you might be aware of. And it was one day I was meditating outside at Mount Shasta. It was actually at the Shasta Lake. And I was communicating with Divine Mother, with Mother Earth, and I was asking, you know, what is next? How can we support the planetary ascension process? And, you know, when you do these things, you can also travel through dimensions. And so that was possible. And I had what I would call a meeting with our Mother Earth in the earth. And she explained to me the power of and she said, as we live in this quantum field and everything is made of rainbow strings, like really the web of life as the web of rainbow light, then when we chant we can actually kind of repair and reweave the rainbow web of life. And so I would like to ask us all around the world as a collective, and also all those beautiful beings who are here with us in Sedona, to chant three together, and to have the focus, the intention that this will go all around the world, wherever you are, creating the web of love and light, the love that will uplift this quantum field that we are part of, that will support the planetary ascension process, and that will also uplift all life, including the elemental queendom and all that we are part of, meaning the larger self, the cosmos. So with that, let us go deep into the sacred heart, the playful child within, and chant 3 sacred Oms. Om. And may the love that we have in our sacred hearts flood this beautiful earth and bless all life with our love. So thank you so much. Anrita Melchizedek will be joining us next to bring in the company of heaven. And then we will have beloved Patricia guiding us through an incredibly powerful activity of light for 11/11. And today Aeoliah will close with planetary healing from Mother Earth. So thank you for being here with us and blessing all life.
Welcome, beloved hearts. It's so absolutely wonderful to be with you through this 11/11 gateway of divine love and one unity consciousness. We are experiencing an unparalleled now moment upon this sacred earth as we collectively awaken to the remembrance of our divinity as the I Am Avatar race. This 11/11 gateway ushers in the next stage of the divine unfolding plan of Mother, Father, God, as we deepen into new earth as our beloved I Am presence and the beloved I Am presence of all awakening and awakened souls. It brings with it the resurrection and ascension codes of soul embodiment, living in love, unity, community, and service to all. while the numbers 1, 11, and 11 hold spiritual and numerological importance for all in the ability to release the old and start anew. For awakened souls, the number 11 is one of the sacred numbers of Christ consciousness, and the 1, 11, 11, 11 sequence codes and templates that activate within and through the DNA, expand our heart flames to align fifth dimensionally to embody source light as we deepen into the golden sun within, photonic light in the inner Christ, and escalate into the next level of our service work as the way showers, gatekeepers, grid keepers, and flames of divinity, simultaneously clearing all that no longer serves in this golden age of light. The awakening into New Earth is initially experienced as a deep, heartfelt connection to one another and to all life, as we lift our vibration through alignment to the codes of divinity within, the codes of purity and innocence, sovereignty, freedom, and truth. To access New Earth vibrationally, we purge and clear and release a density while moving through each dimension, each level of consciousness, and each program to the cellular restoration of crystalline consciousness, photonic plasma light, and the ability to sustain our physical bodies as our temples of light. We continually align and activate, integrate, recalibrate, synchronize, and actualize, living in the now through the stillness of the loving heart and the wisdom of the higher mind, while clearing at a cellular level false beliefs, judgments, patternings, and conditionings, and in particular right now, releasing unworthiness, fear, unforgiveness, separation, lack of empowerment. We are experiencing an incredible shift in consciousness, played out dimensionally, and as we go deeper within, we experience our inner New Earth, living from the heart, as we are taken ever deeper into the light. While 3D plays out unconscious behavior, 4D takes us into remembering and clearing, aligning and misaligning, and 5D awakens and illuminates the threefold flame of power, love, and wisdom within and through multiple timelines, where all is love, and love is all there is. When we shift the inside, we shift the outside. And with the codes of divinity aligning through all dimensions of life, we reveal and unveil the next level of our quantum reality through the heart of love, telepathically expressed and deeply connected through our golden hearts as we activate the downloads, key codes, numerologies, fractal geometries, sacred geometries, and prepare to enter the inner Christ within the New Earth. So let us go there now as one heart and one unified field of light over this 11-11 gateway as we breathe in love and breathe out love and feel this heart-centered connection with one another as the beloved I am that I am. As we now state, we call upon the overlighting of Mother, Father, God, and all the illumined beings of light from on high that we personally acknowledge. As we now merge with our beloved I am presence and the beloved I am presence of all souls upon this sacred earth, as the I am avatar rays, as the light of God, as the sacred flames of divinity we are. Through the overlighting of Mother, Father God, and all the illumined beings of light from on high, as we collectively experience this as the 11 gateway of one unity consciousness, we connect into the 144 unity grid of divine love, downloading new key codes, numerologies, fractal geometries, and sound and color frequencies as we amplify our collective light as one unified cosmic heart, feeling and sensing our beloved soul and star family through and within this grid of light as the stargate portals of divine love. As we continue to go within, breathing deep into the body, breathing in love, breathing out love. We are wrapped in the diamond flame of purity and innocence, the white light of Christ consciousness, and now the golden flame of unity consciousness and love. As this threefold flame ignites within our loving hearts, we have a sense of our beloved I Am presence, our beautiful higher light, merging ever deeper with us as the photonic plasma light and diamond light codes of crystalline consciousness enter into our loving hearts. The codes of divinity ignite and activate through the golden sun within, as the rainbow light ignites from inwards out. We align now into the inner earth sun, the golden sun within, the sun, central sun, and now great central sun, merging into the Christed light within, our purity, our innocence, are releasing all that no longer serves us in the light of God we are. Imromosoa ia kina sia kia. Imosoa kia. And now through the codes of divinity, we see the divine within ourselves and the divine within others, knowing that we are all one. We are one with God. We are one with our emotions. We are one with all life. As we continue to breathe deep into the body, we wrap Mother Earth and all her life in these beautiful flames of light. This diamond flame of purity and innocence, this white light of Christ consciousness, and this golden flame of unity and love. From the 3D matrix and from within ourselves, we release our programs, false beliefs and judgments of unworthiness, lesser than and better than consciousness, victim, persecutor consciousness, fear of death and disempowerment. As we rebalance and realign our lower bodies as open hearts in this golden age of light, we experience the full range of our emotions in trust and surrender to the divine. We purify our lower mind through the divine mind of Mother, Father, God, and open our hearts to all that is, releasing perceived separation for ourselves and for all life upon the sacred earth to the maximum cosmic law can allow. Imromosoa ia kina zikaia inkaino koa. These codes of divinity now activate and actualize within our Christed hearts, and now through each one of our chakras. As our chakras merge into one unified column of light. And now, these codes of divinity anchor into the sacred sides and vortices of Mother Earth, and into the hearts and minds of every man, woman, and child upon this sacred earth, choosing the path of love. We are joined in hearts and minds to all life upon this sacred earth as the I am avatar consciousness of light, the collective higher light of all awakened souls. We are the open hearts in this golden age of light, creating the path of divine love for others as we enter and experience new earth. We breathe in unity, we hold our breaths, and we breathe out all that no longer resonates. Separation, fear, and pain. We breathe. Of our life purpose in self-mastery, the codes of creation, the patterns of perfection. We request the activation of our crystalline plasma photonic light DNA templates through the axiatonal lines, the appropriate geometries, fire letters, key codes, and numerologies, focusing on the light codes 11, 11, 1, 11, 11. As we now request the activation of the 12 fire letters and scalar wave programs, with standing wave patterns composed of quantities of conscious energy, activating through the subatomic particles within the body, spinning now an increased light frequency through the crystalline matrix of cosmic Christ consciousness, anchoring activating the appropriate chakras, geometries, key codes, and numerologies. We request the activation of the major external lines through the appropriate meridians and spin points, linking us into the New Earth templates and the unity grid of divine love. And so it is, and so it is. Imra masia kia kino koa kia, inkaino koa. We now experience a golden white star tetrahedron activates within our heart and thymus chakra as we actualize our golden heart through the inner Christ, the source light within, as we now state, I am an open heart in this golden age of light, manifesting the light that pours through my beingness onto this sacred earth and within the hearts of all humanity. I am in service to Mother Earth and all her life, a beacon of light, a sacred transfiguring flame of divine love, leading the way through the pathway of divine love. I am deeply loved and divinely supported in my co-creations of light, a manifesting master being. I am one with Mother, Father, God. I am one with all life. As my energy field stabilizes to that of the fifth dimension and beyond, I move beyond my fears and doubts into the patterns of perfection and the new earth blueprints of life. As I travel through the pathway of divine love, I do so with the full knowing of my service work as a sacred flame of divinity. I am a master initiate of light, vibrating in synchronicity to the celestial and sonic vibrations of the realms of illumined truth. As all veils of illusion lift, I have full remembrance of my multidimensional, multifaceted nature. I am completely aligned to light and to all dimensions of light. As the light of God, I am. I am surrounded once more in this beautiful diamond, white and golden light. Visualizing now a beautiful diamond sphere, 54 feet in diameter around me, and within this the golden flower of life, and within my sacred heart, star tetrahedron that ignites into my Merkaba field of light, traveling quantum field into the heart of love, into the fifth dimension as a fully realized Christ conscious being of light. I am source light, experiencing the cosmic heart of Mother, Father, God, and this multi-universal Christ conscious field of light. And so it is, and so it shall be. Imrolomosoa ia kina kia, inkaino koa. As we hold this focus over a 40-day period, bathing all life in the sacred flame of divine love and one unity consciousness, in the knowing of their Christed light, as we move through the lunar and solar eclipses and solstice gateway to awaken our full potentiality and soul's blossoming as we deepen into new earth, as one heart and one love, and one unified field of light. We now come back into our sacred space, grounding into the crystal heart of Mother Earth and deepening to the cosmic heart of all creation. So Christ conscious beings of light, we are collectively as the I am avatar race. Imrolomosoa kia in kaino koa. Namaste. As I welcome now beautiful Patricia Cota Robles.
Thank you, Anrita. That was beautiful and just the perfect creation for the next step of this activation that we're going to be experiencing today. I want to welcome all of you. This is such an incredibly powerful time, and I know it's difficult for us to grasp the full magnitude of it with our finite minds, but the beings of light have reiterated that this is a cosmic moment that we have all been preparing for lifetimes to fulfill. And those of you that have been magnetized to this particular activity of light are here because of your own unique and very special preparation for this activation. This is a very powerful day that has been building in momentum for a very long time. And I know that and I'm sure you have too, been invited to myriad activities of light that are taking place all over the planet. And they're all critical to the success of this facet of the divine mission. And no activity of light is any more important than another person's activity of light. And being woven into this collective chalice is every expression of love that humanity is releasing today, whether it's a mother holding her baby in love, or someone preparing a healthy meal for a loved one, or doing your job with a heart filled with love that is singing. All of those activities of light are being woven into this collective activity. Today is November 11th, and this portals of light, are created through the unified efforts of embodied humanity and the company of heaven. Even though there's infinite light throughout the heavenly realms, these portals through the psychic astral effluvia surrounding the earth cannot be opened without humanity's cooperation. As the call says, the call for assistance must come from the realm where the assistance is needed. So this particular portal is incredibly large and has been building in momentum since the first initial impulse of it at the signing of the treaty in 1918 that completed the World War I. And this activity of light was signed between the United States and our allies and Germany. And the whole frequency of the sacred geometry of the numerical numbers was incorporated into this treaty that was focused on bringing peace to Earth. And it was signed on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. And every year since that time, there have been global celebrations on November 11th. And they have built in momentum through time to this cosmic moment that we are experiencing now and have been unfolding since prior to the birth of the new Earth. We're talking today about sacred geometry, and numerology is one of the cosmic laws that affects us, just like the laws of physics or the laws of astrology. And it doesn't really matter whether we fully understand how the frequency of sacred geometry and numbers works or not. We're all subject to it, even if we don't believe it or believe it's just delusional for us to think that way, is immaterial. It's like the law of gravity. It's immaterial whether we believe in the law of gravity or not. If we jump off of a roof, we're all going to be subject to that particular law, and we're going to fall to the ground unless we have some supernatural human abilities, which most of us, I don't think at this point, do. So this particular portal of light is being opened today for an activation that is going to move Earth and all life evolving upon her a quantum leap up the spiral of evolution into new frequencies of the new Earth. And we're going to talk about that. Now, this day began, of course, when the sun crossed the date line that passes in the middle of the Pacific Ocean near the Canary Islands, just to the west, or to the east rather, of New Zealand. And so New Zealand, according to Arizona time, New Zealand is about 17 hours ahead of us. So for the past 17 hours, as the sun brought this energy through this portal, time zone by time zone, it has been building in momentum, and great expressions of light have been pouring through that. The beings of light asked me to give just a little bit of the background of the miraculous things that have brought us to this point over the past few years, so that we can all be on the same page in this activation of light. Knowing you already have everything within you to accomplish that, the unique thread of your golden thread of life from all of your time frames and dimensions has exactly the patterns that need to God victoriously been woven into this facet of the divine plan. So just be at peace and know that all is well. And all you have to do is release your conscious mind to the full dominion of your mighty I Am presence, and you will be guided unerringly through this facet of the divine plan. As you know, we've been moving forward through various activities of light for many decades now. But beginning with harmonic convergence is when this full activation of the 11-11, the 11, and the 11-11-11 geometric codes that are encoded within our DNA began to awaken. And it began with harmonic convergence, was in August 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th in 1987. And during that sacred time, which is the step of the initial process of moving us through the shift of the ages, the light of God flowed through the portal at Diamond Head in Honolulu, Hawaii, because that is the initial impulse of where on the Hawaiian Islands that was part of Lemuria, where the initial impulse of the fall of humanity began. That's when we began using our thoughts and feelings that were not based in love. And as that fall continued and we fell into denser and denser frequencies of vibration, the crystal grid system for Mother Earth, which is the acupuncture meridians of the earth, where the light of God flows, just like the light of God flows through our own acupuncture meridians, that activates our brain and beats our heart and is of a divine intelligence within the core of purity and every cell and organ of our bodies. This incredible crystal grid system, as we fell into denser frequencies that resulted in the seeking of Lemuria, became dormant and was able to reflect very little light. That was actually a merciful activity because crystals amplify everything. And the crystal grid system was amplifying all of the gross miscreations of humanity based in greed and corruption and hate and the concept of war and violence. All of our abuse of power was being amplified by the crystals until our Father, Mother, God withdrew the light and the crystal grid system became almost dormant. So in August of 1987, we reached a frequency of vibration that was powerful enough love that allowed the crystal grid system to be activated, but that could only occur through the cooperation of the masses of humanity. So without internet, without social media, or all of the ways that we now communicate with each other, this knowledge began filtering through the mental and emotional strata, and humanity all over the world began realizing that this activation, being called the activation of the shift of the ages in harmonic convergence, and we thought of it and were told at the time it was predominantly the completion of the 5,125-year cycle of the Mayan calendar. But actually, it was the shift of the ages, and the beings of light said it involved far more just than the completion of that one cycle, but that literally cycles within cycles within cycles throughout the whole of creation, every so many millions of years, dovetail with the heartbeat of our Father, Mother, God, the cosmic I am, all that is. And during that cosmic moment, our Father, Mother, God inbreathed the whole of creation up the spiral of evolution to the next octave of our learning experience. So the initial impulse of that for the planet Earth was known as harmonic convergence. And when that light flowed through the portal at Diamond Head on the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th of August in 1987, it poured into the center of the earth, the heart of Mother Earth, and she transmitted it through the crystal grid system. Lightworkers around the world were gathered at sacred sites and having ceremonies and sacred activities of light all over the planet. And for those 4 days, they served as acupuncture needles along the ley lines of the crystal grid system and the meridians, and they activated the crystal grid system of Mother Earth. We were told this would be a 5-year process that would involve the earth being raised off of the wheel of karma and placed back on the spiral of evolution, as well as beginning the initial ascent into the 4th dimension. Then there would be an activity of light at the culmination of that 5-year period that would complete our ascension into the 4th dimension and begin the activation of the 1111 and 11, let me say it this way. Begin the activation of the 11 and the 1111 and the 1111 sacred geometric codes within our DNA. These codes are the divinity codes that contain the full divine potential of our I am presence being expressed tangibly through our earthly bodies as our fifth dimensional crystalline solar bodies of light. So that initial impulse began through an activity of light that was called moving through the doorway of 1111. This took a 6-month period to accomplish because the energies were so dense at that time, and the crystalline grid system was just beginning to truly be activated again. The activity of light began with a powerful activity of a solar eclipse on July 11th in 1991. That was the initial impulse of the 1111 doorway. That light built in momentum until January 11th, 1992, which was the 11th completion of that doorway. The 1111 portal was open to full breath, and the earth and all her life ascended through the 1111 portal and was secured on the initial impulse of the spiral of the fourth dimension. We were told at Harmonic Convergence that this would be a 25-year process. The first 5 years would prepare us for the ascent into the fourth dimension after we were lifted off of the wheel of karma by the mighty Elohim, and then it would build in momentum until we were able to birth the new earth during the solstice, the 20th and 21st of December in 2012, and then it would continue that process of evolution. So from moving through the doorways, the energies built in momentum. When we aligned with the galactic core of the Milky Way on December 21st and 22nd in 2012, that was when our Father, Mother, God inbreathed the whole of creation up the spiral of evolution into the next octave of our learning experience. That energy then has been building in momentum until we reached this birthing of the new decade in 2020. In January of 2020, our Father, Mother, God said, with the birth of the new decade, we had reached a frequency of vibration that would allow transformation at a physical level to occur on planet Earth in that 10-year period, that it was truly beyond the comprehension of our finite minds. And the reason for this monumental acceleration in our ascension process was because we had reached a critical mass of divine love that allowed our Father, Mother, God to grant a cosmic dispensation that allowed the company of heaven to collaborate with awakening humanity in ways that we were told at the time had not been attempted in any system of worlds. Now, we had no idea, this was January of 2020, we had no idea exactly what that meant. But within a matter of a few weeks, we reached a cosmic moment where the earth was decreed for a cosmic time out, something that had never before occurred in the history of our planet or in any other system of worlds, according to the company of heaven. Now, I want to just say at this point that we are talking about the greater picture of the multi-dimensional activities of light that were taking place because of this forced time out. The beings of light said that it is only through the third dimensional frequencies that we are experiencing these energies that resulted in COVID and all of the difficulties and the imbalances and the financial situations, the physical situations, all of those challenging things that people went through. So they said for us not to focus on who created it. The beings of light did not create COVID. What actually happens, though, is when there is a powerful force of humanity's consciousness, a collection of humanity's consciousness, the beings of light can utilize that cup of consciousness to create miracles. For instance, when there is a war, people all over the planet, even though there are horrific things taking place in the outer world, people dying and lots of fear and lots of terrible things, humanity reaches into the depths of their heart and they begin invoking the light of God and praying and awakening in ways that they had not experienced, that they were just going about their lives until they reached that particular catalyst. And light is infinitely more powerful than the fragmented fear-based consciousness that would cause a war. Light is infinitely more powerful than the fragmented fear-based consciousness that would have created a global pandemic, whatever that was. What is occurring in the outer world because of the pandemic and the separation is that the powers that have created the chaos in the outer world through separation in duality, which are our fragmented and fear-based human egos. Our egos don't understand they're being given an opportunity to transform and to move forward in the light. So now that they realized we are taking quantum leaps that cannot be stopped at this point, they are doing everything they can to block us from moving forward with our ascension process. So they are using the event of the global pandemic, no matter how it started, no matter whether it was a natural biological virus or started in a lab or no matter what, none of that matters at this point. What matters is that we transcend it, that we transmute it with the light. The beings of light said that what's occurring in the outer world with our separation, with our conspiracy theories, with our us against them consciousness, with the fighting, with the anger, with the confusion and the fear, all of that is being perpetuated by our fragmented and fear-based human egos. And as you know, it is like living on two different worlds, but the duality is being created by the fighting, and the us against them is being created by our fragmented human egos. So at the present time, there are two predominant different schools of thought involving COVID, involving what caused it, involving what to do about it, involving masks and vaccinations and all of those things. And the fear-based consciousness and the duality is being perpetuated by our egos. And the beings of light said at this point, there will be those of you on one side that are listening to the words I'm saying. And when I'm saying that the negativity is being perpetuated and the lies and the conspiracy theory perpetuated by the forces of imbalance to prevent the light from moving forward in the light, which it cannot do and will not do. But the beings of light said that one group, when you hear those words, you will say, that's the other group. I'm on the right side. I'm working with the light, and they're talking about the other people that believe differently than I do. And the other side, the other group, thinks identically the same thing, that what I believe is right and true. It is the other people that are causing the problems and our lying and conspiracy theories. And the reality is both of those groups, in both of those groups, there are myriad misinformations, misqualified energy, conspiracy theories involved. So what we are being asked to do today is to transcend all of that third dimensional chaos. Because of this cosmic moment, we are to lift our consciousness above, saying none of that lower battle matters at this time. We are to raise our consciousness above and to see and perceive what the beings of light are sharing with us is what has occurred because of COVID and because of the forced timeout, no matter what created it in the first place. So with this forced timeout that began just a couple of weeks after the birth of this new decade, our I am presences, every person's I am presence through the quiet of the forced timeout. I'm sure many of you saw the incredible shifts almost instantaneously that took place in the environment, with air being cleared and water being purified and being able to see and to breathe more healthily and all of the things, even in the midst of what was occurring with the essential workers and people that weren't able to have a timeout. We reached a critical mass, so the timeout affected everybody in the most positive way. The timeout allowed our I am presence to sever the cords that had connected us to the enslavement codes. Our fear-based fragmented I am presences had encoded in our DNA after the fall. These enslavement codes have manipulated and dominated and controlled us for eons of time. Those cords were severed by every person's I am presence. That energy was encapsulated in Archangel Michael's circle of white lightning, the first cause of perfection, and returned to the heart of creation to be repolarized back into light. During those same few months that occurred in 2020 after the forced timeout, our I am presence was able to remove the karmic body template from our DNA and transmute it through Archangel Michael's circle of white lightning, removing it into the core of creation for repolarization. And every person's I am presence was able to replace that karmic body template with our divine body template. The karmic body template is what carries the patterns of the misqualified mutations of disease and fear and aging and all of the mental illness and maladies. Now our divine body template is pulsating through us. And when I'm talking about I'm talking about every man, woman, and child, no matter how oblivious they may be to that. Their I am presence is controlling the intensity of the frequency of their new codes that have been placed, their new geometric divinity codes that have been placed, replacing the enslavement codes, and their new divine body template. So their divinity codes in their DNA and their divine body template has been activated and is gradually expanding through the divine alchemy of their physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies at this time. Because of that, later on through 2020, our I am presence was able to begin integrating into our physical bodies. Our physical bodies prior to that time with the enslavement codes and our karmic body template was vibrating at such a discordant frequency that our I am presence projected light into our heart, but outside of our body. When this occurred in 2020, our I am presence began integrating into our earthly bodies to actually connect at a cellular level, blazing through the divinity of our heart flame. In October of 2020, we went through a planetary reboot that moved us a quantum shift into higher vibrations that prepared us for this monumental event that was going to occur during the December solstice 2021 in 2020. What took place during the December solstice is there was a very rare and extremely powerful conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter. That conjunction raised the frequency of vibration on the planet that allowed humanity's I am presences at this new higher frequency with our divinity codes and our divine body template rebooted into a whole new frequency. It allowed our I am presence with our Father, Mother, God to elevate our breath into a much higher frequency of life force and prana than we had ever been able to breathe before. Every person's holy breath is now an elevated holy breath. This is our life force. This is why we take our first breath at birth. This is why we take our last breath as we leave this physical plane to move into the heavenly realms. It is our source of life in the physical plane. So now, with every breath we take, we are breathing in higher frequencies of prana and our life force. Once that occurred during the solstice, it allowed the crystal grid system of Mother Earth to be raised into a frequency that could withstand new record keeper crystals. The record keeper crystals in the body of Mother Earth are identical to our DNA, and they contain the patterns of perfection for the new Earth. Our Father, Mother, God raised the frequency of the crystal grid system, allowing the mighty Elohim through the huge portal of light at Uluru. It used to be Ayers Rock. It's always been Uluru in Australia. Through that incredible monolith, the mighty Elohim projected into the crystal grid system, fifth dimensional record keeper crystals. Throughout the earth, there are brand new record keeper crystals now blazing in, through, and around planet Earth that contain a contingency plan of the divine alchemy of transforming our carbon-based bodies into fifth dimensional crystalline solar light bodies. It contains all of the viable solutions of how we are going to heal the maladies in our earthly bodies, in the elemental kingdom, and all of the human miscreations that we have expressed in the outer world. In addition to that, it is pulsating with the exquisite patterns of perfection for the new earth. And these now have been activated. Now, these have been building in momentum throughout 2021, building in momentum, reaching higher and higher frequencies of pure divine light. Now, this year, on the anniversary of harmonic convergence in August, we had created with our Father, Mother, God, and I say we, I'm talking about all the activities of light on the planet. Not that everybody knows the exact same thing, but all light on Earth was added to this activity of light. We created a quantum field of comprehensive divine love that allowed our Father, Mother, God, and the I am presence of every person to restore the frequency of the flame of divinity, the immortal, victorious, threefold flame within our hearts. Restore it to the full frequency that is identical to the pulsation of the threefold flame in our Father, Mother, God's heart and in the heart of Mother Earth. Prior to the fall, this threefold flame was that frequency, but after the fall, it got distorted and the feminine polarity got minimized, and we forgot about the divine feminine and our Mother God, and we began reflecting out of balance this patriarchal consciousness without the balance of love. So now that is restored to its full divine potential. This has brought us to this moment now where we have reached a frequency of vibration that beginning today and for the next 40 days until the December solstice, December 20 and 21, we are going to have the most accelerated purging process of this third dimensional chaos and all of the structures of imbalance, the oppressive paradigms that have been sustained by the consciousness of separation and duality through people and our egos that are perpetuating greed and corruption and the willingness to act with violence, hatred, anything that is not based in love is part of that old paradigm that is now, those structures and those thought forms are now being dismantled. They're crumbling away. They're being dematerialized, dissolved to pave the way for the new patterns of perfection in the contingency plan. When we went through this activity of light at the beginning of 2020, the beings of light told us that this shift that is taking place, the new experiment, the new contingency of this collaboration between heaven and earth, that nothing will ever be the same. And they said that with the timeout, that was the beginning of this shift of dismantling the old obsolete paradigms of greed and corruption and pain and hatred and war and all of those us against them consciousness, and that nothing would ever be the same. And that was not a threat. That was a revelation that they were telling us that the cosmic moment had arrived for us to now, with great intention, co-create the new earth. So during this 40-day period between now, there will be several activities of light that take place between now and December 20th and 21st. Each of us will be guided individually for our own participation, as well as collectively for our group activities and things we'll be doing with our friends and loved ones. We at Era of Peace will be describing what the beings of light are sharing with us through our weekly vlogs and our newsletters during this time frame. That's available on our website for free, and you can just go and sign up. Every Tuesday, there is a vlog written that is going to be guiding us through these various activities of light. But today is the initial impulse. And what is occurring today is something that the beings of light said not even they were aware that this degree of acceleration could occur at this moment, this soon in this evolutionary process. Now, when we look at the outer world, it looks like nothing could be further from the truth. This is why the beings of light want us to know that that is the illusion of the clearing. That is the cosmic expression that all that is hidden must now be revealed. So everything that's surfacing in the outer world at this time, in one way or another, is reflecting every single misqualified thought, word, action, or feeling humanity has released since the initial impulse of our fall from grace on the continent of Lemuria, because that's what has to be purged and cleared and purified. But that is nothing compared to what I've shared with you and what is actually occurring in the bigger divine plan of what is unfolding at this time. So the 11, the 11, and the 11, sacred geometric codes in our DNA contain a new frequency of our divinity codes. And they've been opening little by little. It began in 1991 and 92 with moving through the doorway of 1111, began activating those dormant codes. And they've had smaller activations. But even at this point, the beings of light have said those codes, the monumental frequencies of what they contain, the celestial patterns of the new earth, have been predominantly dormant. And they said that for us to be able to co-create this transformation and to experience this purging in the way that we are experiencing now, that we need to reach higher. And one of the things that occurred once the cosmic force field of divine love was created is that every person's I am presence, once the threefold flame was restored, was able to secure the presence of unity consciousness in every heart flame. The presence of unity consciousness is the very highest expression of enlightenment and Christ consciousness. And it is one with the consciousness of our Father, Mother, God. Unity consciousness is the essence of our Father, Mother, God. And everything that reflects in the universe is expanded from that level of consciousness. Our threefold flame, the threefold flame in the heart of Mother Earth, and the threefold flame in the heart of our Father, Mother, God, are now vibrating with the same frequency. Not the same magnitude, of course. We would be blown, vaporized to have the full magnitude of our Father, Mother, God. But the frequency in our threefold flame has all the perfection of the threefold flame within the heart of our Father, Mother, God. But the beings of light said, even with the unity consciousness that was now secured as a presence in every heart flame, in order for us to reach the highest possible frequencies of the patterns of perfection in the new contingency plan, we have to raise the frequency of unity consciousness in our heart, because those patterns are beyond our ability to even formulate with our conscious mind, because they are so exquisite beyond anything we've ever even imagined. So what is happening today is the 11, and the 11 divinity codes within our 12 fifth dimensional crystalline solar strands of DNA are being activated to their full divine potential. We will first move through. We've been doing this since the sun passed the date line 17 hours ago. We have been moving through the portal. The earth and all her life have been ascending through the 1111 portal to bring us to a frequency that these codes could be activated. Now, through our activity of light, we are going to be activating these codes. Then throughout the rest of this 40-day period, The light of God is going to flow through us, the violet flame to assist with the process of the dismantling, the crumbling away, and the dissolving of all of the obsolete paradigms, all of the misinformation, all of the misqualified energy. And we are going to be lifted up in frequencies of vibration that bring us to the activity of light that will take place, the completion of this activity on December 20th and 21st of this year. That is going to allow us then to begin tapping into the frequencies of these new patterns, to begin receiving new colors, new musical tones, new divine qualities, aspects of divinity that we have never even dreamed of. And the beings of light have told us in the past, if we sat down and said, what would heaven on earth be from me? What would be the greatest, most miraculous patterns of perfection? The beings of light said, no matter how glorious and celestial we were able to conceive with our finite minds, those patterns of perfection, we would not be scratching the surface to the patterns of perfection for the new earth and what we are ascending into. So today, beginning this 40-day process where we will be transmuting the old, but also raising us into higher vibrations through these new divinity codes that reflect higher levels of our divinity codes and our wisdom codes and the perfection of our crystalline solar light body codes, so that we are raising up and up and up throughout this time, so that then we will be able to start with the birthing of this new, very powerful year of 2022 with a 222 master number. We will be moving a quantum leap forward, and we will be told the transformation that'll take place at that time. So know again that what we're witnessing in the outer world is the old archetypes crumbling and being pushed to the surface. And the beings of light said that the patterns, some of them will be obvious, but many of these old obsolete archetypes and paradigms are being dissolved and crumbling away under the radar without so much cosmic attention. So if you don't feel like you're witnessing enough of that, that is immaterial. These things I've shared with you today of the removal of our enslavement codes, the removal of our karmic body template, being replaced with divinity codes in our divine body template, the I am presence fully integrating into us, our threefold flame being restored to the frequency of God, and the full momentum of the patterns of perfection for the new earth now beginning to pulsate through us, the new frequency of the holy breath that we have, the new record keeper crystals with a contingency plan. These are miracles that have happened since the fourth time out. So don't judge what is going on in the outer world by what you're witnessing, because so much more at a grander level. And all of that is pulsating in your heart, and you are included in it fully, no matter how oblivious you were to it or how oblivious the masses of humanity. These shifts are involving all humanity, the entire elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth herself. So now, to initiate this facet of the divine plan, it is the activation that has been given to us by the beings of light that will activate the 11, the 1111, and the 111111 sacred geometric codes of our divinity within the 12 fifth dimensional crystalline solar strands of our DNA that are now pulsating through our fifth dimensional spine and our 12 fifth dimensional crystalline solar chakras. All 12 chakras pulsate with the 12 fifth dimensional crystalline solar aspects of deity, colors, fragrances, patterns of perfection. So we have this magnificent fifth dimensional spine. This is where the light will come through. We have our body template. So as you can see, miracles have taken place. And today, on this building momentum of this collective cup of the 1111 consciousness, it's been building in momentum since November 11th, 1918, and greatly accelerated since we moved through the doorway of the 1111 in 1991 and 1992. We are going to now move into frequencies of light beyond anything we've ever experienced. For the past 17 hours, we have been ascending through the portal, and now it is time for the activation of the 12 solar strands of DNA and the genetic codes of divinity within those DNA structures. So if you will please join me, go within to the divinity of your heart and just follow me through this with a full momentum of your divine potential. Breathe in deeply, going within to the divinity of your heart, and be here now. And we begin. I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of every man, woman, and child on earth. Collectively, humanity's I am presences now merge into one luminous being of light that is cradling Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her within the divinity of our unified heart flames. Humanity, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth are now breathing in unison with me as one elevated holy breath. What I invoke for myself this sacred and holy day, I invoke on behalf of every person on this planet, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth, in perfect alignment with each one's divine plan and the highest good for all concerned. This is possible because we are one. I am one with my Father, Mother, God. I am one with the solar logos from suns beyond suns. I am one with the legions of light throughout infinity. I am one with the mighty Elohim, the directors of the elements, and all of the beings associated with the elemental kingdom, including my body elemental. I accept and know that the light of God is exponentially expanding within the hearts and minds of all humanity with every elevated holy breath I take. On this powerful 11/11 day, Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her are ascending through the 11/11 portal into new celestial and cosmic coordinates. Our adjusted position in the universe is now allowing humanity, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth to receive higher solar light codes through the portals of the suns in Earth's lineage than we have previously been able to safely assimilate. This includes the solar light codes flowing through the portals of our physical sun, Helios and Vesta, our central sun, Alpha and Omega, our great central sun, Eloah and Eloah, and our great central sun, El and Allah. Through every person's I am presence, the higher solar light codes that we are now receiving are recalibrating our spiritual brain centers, which include our pineal, pituitary, and hypothalamus glands, and the ganglionic center at the base of our brains. This recalibration is creating the sacred space for our I am presence to heal any fragmented circuitry within our brain that is preventing us from communicating intuitively with our I am presence, the company of heaven, or our Father, Mother, God. As this occurs, our mental body, our superconscious mind, our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, and our physical brain structures are able to receive brand new levels of unity consciousness, which is the very essence of our Father, Mother, God. Now, as we continue in-breathing and exhaling our elevated holy breath, we receive higher and higher frequencies of our life force and prana. Our holy breath is cleansing and purifying our physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies. As this purification occurs within our earthly bodies, it is simultaneously occurring within the earthly bodies of the elemental kingdom and Mother Earth. The holy breath of God is now lifting each of us up in energy, vibration, and consciousness. We are ascending into the realms of eternal light and illumined truth. We now pass through a multi-dimensional doorway into higher frequencies of God's infinite light than we have ever experienced. We are enveloped in a cascading, brilliant light, which is reflecting the pristine beauty and the exquisite colors, musical tones, fragrances, and divine qualities associated with the 12 fifth-dimensional crystalline solar aspects of deity. This resplendent light is reverberating with the music of the spheres. Every person's I am presence now confirms that there is a great shaft of light radiating through each of us. This is our fifth dimensional solar spine and our 12 fifth dimensional crystalline solar chakras. In this higher frequency of God's infinite light, our I Am presence helps us to perceive that our fifth dimensional solar spine is the finger of God Almighty, pointing to planet Earth from out of the realms of eternal light, saying, "Here I am." Along this shaft of solar light, we see and feel our 12 solar chakras, now reflecting a higher frequency of unity consciousness than we have ever experienced. As we assimilate this divine light, we begin to clearly comprehend that we are both a planetary and a solar light being. We are both spirit and matter, unified on earth in perfect harmony. We serve on earth through our earthly bodies. However, through our I Am presence, we also live, move, breathe, and have our being within the unity consciousness of our Father, Mother, God, the cosmic I Am, all that is. Now, with every elevated holy breath we take, our I Am presence is preparing us to receive the most powerful activation within our fifth dimensional DNA that cosmic law will allow. This activation involves the sacred geometric codes of 11 and 1111 and 111111. This master number 11 reflects the transfiguration from the physical into the divine. These codes pulsate at a relatively dormant level within every person's 12 fifth dimensional solar strands of DNA. With the opening of the 1111 portal of light, this sacred and holy day, every person's I Am presence, in unison with our Father, Mother, God, will activate these geometric codes to their full divine potential. This activation will empower humanity to collectively take a quantum leap up the spiral of evolution into higher frequencies of the fifth dimensional new earth than we have ever reached. As this activation now begins, our I Am presence takes full dominion of our creative faculties of thought and feeling. With every breath, we experience an upward shift in our heart and mind. We clearly see that we have become radiant sons of God's multidimensional and multifaceted solar light. From this perspective, we see all of the 11 and 1111 and 111111 geometric codes being fully activated in the 12 fifth dimensional crystalline solar strands of DNA in every human being. We now witness these newly activated genetic codes in humanity's fifth dimensional DNA, accelerating the divine alchemy within humanity's crystalline solar light bodies. This divine alchemy involves the transfiguration from our carbon-based planetary bodies into our fifth dimensional crystalline-based solar light bodies. This fifth dimensional DNA activation is igniting the immaculate concept, which is the divine blueprint within every cell of our physical, etheric, mental, and emotional earthly bodies. This is lifting humanity, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth into higher frequencies of God's physical perfection. This activation is allowing humanity's conscious minds to be much more receptive and attuned to the sacred knowledge flowing into the mental and emotional strata of Mother Earth from the new record keeper crystals that have been recently placed in Mother Earth's crystal grid system by the mighty Elohim, the builders of form. Now, like the sea reflecting the sun, we keep our conscious minds open to the divine plan. And then seeing and knowing that plan, we consecrate our life force to manifesting it. As we assimilate and begin to fully comprehend with wonder and awe what this activation is accomplishing, we will feel great ecstasy in our heart and deep serenity in our mind. We now permanently seal this activity of light in the full realms of our Father, Mother God's comprehensive divine love. And we consecrate our elevated holy breath and our life force to be the open door for this unfathomable divine intervention on behalf of every particle and wave of life on earth. And so it is, beloved, I am that I am. Now, feeling this activity of light securely anchored within the core of purity in every atomic and subatomic particle and wave of life evolving on this sweet earth, please gently return your consciousness to the room, in-breathing and exhaling, feeling yourself aware on a conscious level of the celestial tones that we will now experience from the music of the spheres being shared with us by our beloved Aeoliah.
let's take a minute to just absorb all of the transmissions that have been brought through the speakers, our inner I am God presence, our angelic guides, and just put your hands on your heart chakra for a minute and ask your I am God presence to heal anything that needs to be healed within you, mentally, emotionally, physically, subconsciously. Let's bring the healing Christ into our hearts and just hold that gently, loving yourself and all parts of yourself unconditionally. Like a little newborn baby, just love all of yourself. And you breathe in that love. And slowly exhale gratitude, thanking your I am presence for the grace and love and healing that is taking place right now. For each live stream on earth and all of life on the planet. May you sustain this love and peace in all your activities, wherever you are, wherever you go, that this peace, the threefold flame of love, wisdom, and power shines brightly in all our activities, wherever you are. And in closing, before I put on, we're going to watch a 30-minute video movie that I created of healing the earth, which starts with the violet flame. And I invite you to stay for that closing 30-minute movie. And before that, I just wanted to mention one thing that Greg Braden discovered. There's the DNA code, the actual code in the DNA is God eternal within this body. So if you can just tune in whenever you need healing or in your meditation, affirm, add to that, I am God eternal within this body. You're anchoring and affirming, I am God eternal within this body. So thank you so much, all of you beautiful souls who have joined us today for this activation. And I hope you enjoy this new Healing Earth movie that I created a few weeks ago. Namaste. Activating the violet flame and fire of transmutation and purification in, through, and around the earth. I invoke the loving presence of beloved Saint Germain, Archangel Zadkiel, and the legion of violet flame angels to surround and envelop the earth in the purifying and uplifting energy of the violet transmuting flame and fire, purifying, dissolving, and transmuting all misqualified human and astral creations in, through, and around the earth now. Raising the atomic structure of all life upon the earth to its original divine blueprint. The violet transmuting flame and fire is now blazing in, through, and around each living being on the planet and within Earth herself, accelerating the atomic structure of Earth and all life upon it, restoring the original divine blueprint for all of life on the earth.
clearing, cleansing, and accelerating the atomic structure of Earth and all life upon it, clearing and dissolving any and all misqualified human creation and astral projections in, through, and around the Earth now, transmuting, dissolving, and clearing the cause-effect record and memory of any and all misuse of power and will within, in, through, and around the Earth now. Transmuting, dissolving, and clearing the cause-effect record and memory of any and all misuse of power and will in, through, and around the Earth now, purifying, transmuting, cleansing, and releasing all that no longer serves the evolution of humanity and the Earth. Activating and anchoring the cosmic blue ray and flames of God's will, faith, and protection in, through, and around the Earth now. I invoke the loving presence of beloved Master El Moria, Archangel Michael, and the legion of angels on the cosmic blue ray of God's will and protection to surround and encapsulate the Earth with the Herculean force of cosmic Christ victory, purity, and protection for all life within and on the Earth now. Expanding the powers of protection and well-being for all life on the Earth. Blessing the Earth and all life with a renewed energy, vitality, and empowered use of divine will, purifying all misqualified and misguided use of power within all human and astral creations into the purifying cosmic blue flames of God's will and protection, restoring the divine plan for all life upon the Earth. The This is a call to action to all world leaders to align their willpower to the will of their beloved I Am God presence and indwelling Christ, restoring health, harmony, prosperity, and peace to all of life, renewing the strength, energy, and vitality for all life upon the earth. Activating and anchoring the golden green ray of healing, precipitation, and manifestation in, through, and around the earth now. I invoke the beloved presence of Master Hilarion, Archangel Raphael, the Elohim Vista and Crystal, to anchor and activate the golden green ray of healing and precipitation within all life forms on the earth. Saturating the earth with the golden green flames of healing light, penetrating into the inner core of earth as the golden green flames permeate and fill all of life with renewed life force energy, renewing and restoring all life on the earth, restoring the planet to its original pristine state of being. Activating and anchoring the golden green flames of healing in, through, around each life form on the earth, in nature, in the mineral kingdom, the water, oceans, sky. Healing the cause-effect record and memory of any and all misqualified human and astral creations in, through, around the earth now. Healing, cleansing, purifying, and restoring all of life on the planet to its original vibrant and pristine state of health and well-being. Restoring harmony and radiant health in all life forms on a cellular, molecular, and atomic level. activating and anchoring the rose pink ray of divine love, mercy, compassion, and forgiveness into the inner core of the earth and all life upon it. I invoke the loving presence of beloved Paul the Venetian, Archangel Chamuel and Charity, and all the angels serving on the rose pink ray of love to envelop and surround the earth and all life upon it with the grace of God's unconditional divine love, mercy, and compassion. Healing the heart of humanity, Gaia, and Mother Earth, and all her life forms, filling and restoring each living being with God's unconditional love and nurturing energy. Nurturing, loving, harmonizing the rose ray of divine love, permeating and filling all of life with pure unconditional divine love, mercy, and compassion. Softening and opening the heart of all humanity, unifying all beings into one expanded universal expression of pure divine love and consciousness. Activating and anchoring the ruby gold ray of resurrection, ministration, and peace into the earth. I invoke the loving presence of beloved Lady Nada, Archangel Uriel, and all the angels serving the resurrection ray of peace, service, and ministration to all life on the earth and her evolution. Bathing the entire earth and the comforting flames of ruby, violet, and gold light rays, saturating and expanding divine peace to all beings and all life upon the earth now. Resurrecting and lifting all denser energies into a higher state of perfection, harmony, and peace. I am the resurrection, the life, and the peace that surpasseth all understanding. I am in service to humanity and all life. Anchoring inner and outer peace to all life on the planet, calming and expanding peace, love, harmony, and service to humanity in, through, and around the earth now. Restoring peace to all life. Activating and anchoring the golden ray of wisdom, illumination, and enlightenment into the earth and all life upon it. I invoke the loving presence of beloved Master Kutumi, Archangel Jophiel, and the Elohim Cassiopeia, and all the angels of the golden ray of wisdom, to illuminate and enlighten the consciousness of humanity and all life upon the earth now. Filling each life stream on earth with the illuminating rays of wisdom, light, and understanding of life, its purpose, and universal principles.
Father.
expanding and illuminating each cell and electron with the divine intelligence of our beloved I Am God presence in every life form here on earth. Reactivating the divine intelligence and divine blueprint in all our DNA strands. Reconnecting to the golden source of the great central sun as it pours its golden rays of wisdom and illumination into all our cells and bodies. I am the golden flame of illumination, filling each cell and molecule in my body and brain with the light of enlightened consciousness and self-realization. Activating and anchoring the crystal white ray of cosmic Christ purity and ascension in, through, and around the earth. I invoke the loving presence of beloved Ascended Master Serapis Bey, beloved Mahachohan, Lord Christ, Archangel Gabriel, and the Elohim Estrella, and all the angels serving on the crystal white ray of cosmic Christ consciousness and purity to envelop and enfold the planet Earth and all life upon it in pure Christ consciousness and ascension. Activating the white light ascension flames in, through, and around the earth now. Raising, activating, and restoring the atomic structure of planet Earth and all beings on the planet to the purity of their original Christ consciousness and ascension. restoring the purity and original blueprint of cosmic Christ consciousness for all of life on the earth and for the earth herself. As above, so below, healing all illusion of duality between heaven and earth.